Malum, and welcome to Cooking with Christy. What I'm wanting to share with you is a recipe for my chicken pesto pizza. What this recipe will give you will be the ability to never have to have takeout pizza again. You can skip the pizza aisle at your grocery store, and you will no longer need to meet the pizza delivery man at your door, because this recipe will give you the ability to make a gourmet pizza right in your very own kitchen. This recipe is very simple to make, but it will give you a burst of flavor with each and every bite. All you need to have is a can of chicken, some black beans, some cheese, and I'm using mozzarella and Parmesan, some diced tomatoes, a jar of pre-packaged and pre-made pesto sauce, and one ready-to-go pizza crust. I've already rinsed and drained both the chicken and the black beans, but since canned chicken does not have that much flavor, I need to give it a boost. So I take the pesto sauce and I get a couple of spoonfuls and I mix it in with the chicken. And then I toss it around with the chicken, and then I take my fork and I'm going to shred up the chicken. So that way the chicken is fully coated with every bit of flavor that the pesto sauce can give it. Okay, now this has about the right consistency. The pesto is fully coating all the chicken. We're ready to start on the black beans. The original recipe calls for you to take the black beans and then sprinkle them on top of the pizza. However, my 3-year-old looked at the pizza and went, "Ew, I don't want to eat the beans on my pizza." So I got the idea to take the beans and smash them up and hide them in the pizza. That way you don't know there are beans in there, but we can use the beans as a base for the pizza. So you just take the beans and you just smash them up with the fork to make a paste so that we can spread them on top of the pizza crust. Now, if you don't want to smash up the beans, you can use them by sprinkling them on your pizza as the recipe originally calls for. But if you want to be sneaky and hide them in there, then smash them up and put them on top of the pizza crust, and no one will ever know. All the ingredients prepped, you can begin assembling the pizza. So the first steps to do is you take your prepared pesto sauce and then you spread that on top of the crust. Then what you need to do is you need to take the beans that we mashed up and spread that on top of the pesto sauce. Probably be simplest to use the back of a wooden spoon to get this spread out evenly. And just mash it down on top of the pesto. We're using 2 different cheeses, but we just want a thin layer on top of the beans because we want to add more after we add the chicken. So we have some shredded mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. So just do a thin layer of cheese on top of the beans. Once you have your cheese, you just need to take your shredded chicken and just place that on top of the cheese. And you can just spread that out just to make sure that each and every bite will have some chicken in it. Okay. Once the chicken is evenly spread out on top, you need to go back to your cheeses, and this is where you add your final toppings. So once again, you take your Parmesan cheese, spread that on top, sprinkle it all over, make sure it's fully covering the chicken, and your mozzarella cheese. Now you want to give it a bright burst of color, so what we can do is we add some freshly diced tomatoes. And I just stopped at my local farmer stand and picked me up a tomato, so you know it's going to be rich and full of flavor, and it gives you a nice bright color. Once you have the tomatoes on top, all you need to do is add some fresh cracked black pepper. I already had the oven preheated. The pizza crust called for 450 degrees, and it should be ready in about 8 to 10 minutes. This pizza crust called for a 450 degree oven. We need to bake it for about 8 to 12 minutes. Oh, the cheese is melted and the crust is a nice golden brown. It's time to pull it out of the oven. Once the pizza is ready, right before you serve it, sprinkle on some grated Parmesan cheese. And it's ready to go. All it took was 7 simple ingredients, and what you have before you is a beautiful gourmet pizza. Please make sure you log on to the website to get today's recipe. I'm Christy Malum. Thanks for watching Cooking with Christy.